Hey, welcome back to Married in Minecraft. This is the fourth part of How to Save a Village, and the Married in Minecraft team is still working on the fifth step, which is improving the village.
Huge hill.
So another thing that you can talk about in improving once you've got the town situated is terraforming.
When you have hills and uneven terrain inside the town, the villagers sometimes don't make it from one spot to another unless there's a path. So it's kind of to try to keep the paths that were already there and improve on them. That way they make it back and forth to the town center where you want them. So it's good to sort of terraform or bring down the hills so that they don't impede villagers going to and from their workstations.
Alright, well if the wall is already completed, then I'm going to go ahead and let the villagers out. Do we have it lit up enough?
Yeah.
Somebody's in the work. And here's his workstation.
I have more than one person working on it with efficiency 5 shovels. It doesn't take much time at all.
There wasn't a lot of people here, huh?
Didn't lock them up. I think Danny did. Whenever I got here, there was some people, like maybe it was enough for Gollum to be here.
Yeah, no Gollum. So when you start to get more villagers, you may wind up in the situation where you have a few people standing outside your house trying to get inside your bed. Trying
to get inside to your bed. Not try to get inside your bed. That would be odd.
Now, if you don't care, then fine. Deal with them staring and crying because they can't get into theirs, or actually your beds. Or you can do like we do. Villagers can detect any bed within 16 blocks of themselves, whether they can see it or not. And worse, they have this hive mind communication thing, where if one of them detects it, they can share that information with all the other villagers in the town. So they know, hey, we've got another bed in town. Let's make another baby. Or they can go, hey Carl, you go claim that bed. So to counter this, we build our living quarters 20 blocks up from the highest bed in town. This keeps the villagers from detecting our beds, which is good because we often have 4 to 6 beds in town just for Charlottetown mining employees and associates. Here's another improvement you can do in your town is you can put a farm on top of your headquarters. Now, why would you need a farm on top of your headquarters? Well, if you're trying to grow things to sell to the farmers, unless you're going to stand there and farm at night when they're not around, or you're going to try to catch it before they do, you may have a competition between yourself and the farmers to harvest their crops. If you put your own crop up here on top of your headquarters, then you can grow whatever the cash crop is of the town, and you can make a bunch of emeralds off of it. Now, we usually facilitate access to this structure with a bamboo scaffolding, but you can also use a ladder. As we mentioned before, put it at least 2 blocks away from your walls or any windows so that if you make a golem angry with you, he can't kill you through the wall. 7.
Getting blown up by a creeper. Not my favorite pastime.
Here we go. Or, excuse me, dang. Here we are 20 blocks up from the highest bed in town. And now we're going to speed things up a little bit as we finish the quarters. So now that we know the Y level that we're going to be building at, we're going to go down and get some of Waddles' favorite block. It's a diorite block, and we're going to use the polished version of diorite, and then we're going to get to work putting the support structure in for the sleeping quarters. This is why we put the scaffolding in first, which we call elevators, in the middle, so that we could get back down from up where we're putting in the floor. And since we're talking about improvements that you can do, we're going to talk about the dirt that you see on top of the downstairs area of the building. So this dirt is put here, Bad Rabbit puts it down because she likes to put her farm on top of the main structure. This is for a couple of reasons. One, it keeps the farmers out of our field that we want to grow whatever we want to grow, because sometimes if they're a wheat farmer or a carrot farmer, they end up replacing crops with their preferred crop, whatever they have in their inventory seed-wise. And it lets us be able to plant the crops that we want so that we can sell them back to the villagers without the farmers being able to get to it. So it's a pretty good idea. You might want to try doing that. One of the things you can do to make it easier to know which wall you're being attacked from when you're having to fight pillagers is to put carpet on top of the wall. Alright, well this is going to be the white wall. That's what we have right now is white. With carpet, you can have different color walls if you make different color sheets. The way to make a different color sheet is simply to get a dye and put that dye on the sheet, and then the sheet will be that color. 2 pieces of wool will make 3 pieces of carpet, and then you can put the carpet on the walls, and now this wall right here we'll identify as the white wall because it's got white carpet on it. Another thing you can consider is city planning. Once you've got your walls up, you've got your headquarters worked on, and everything seems to be working well, look at your town and figure out, are there things that you want to add to the town? Are there things you could do better? Are there changes you can make, buildings you can put in? All of these things go together to make your city work better.
I was thinking of putting in an upper bunkhouse right here and doing the lower level with gardens or something.
Where you look? Where you?
Right in this big open area.
Oh, right there between the farm and the headquarters.
Yeah, if I do it up on like stilts, and they go up in the upper bunkhouse, then you could do something underneath it if you wanted to.
So Holy Mist built that bunkhouse, and you'll see it at the end, and you can also see it in the part 3 video as well. It's the building that the golems keep spawning inside of. So now that the platform is almost finished, we have enough space to move our beds up and out of detection range. Now you could also go down 20 blocks to keep them from being detected as well, but up here we can see all of the town, which helps out doing raids sometimes. And remember, if you can put a torch on it, then a bad guy could spawn on it, so make sure to light up your platform as you go along. Now this is a fun feature that we put on all of our elevated living quarters. It is a rapid exit pool. We dig out about a 3x3-ish pool next to one of the sides of the building so that we can quickly get back down to the town. If you build your house up here, 20 blocks up, one of the things you can do for a quick escape is put in a little pool outside and make sure that you have an access to just jump down. Now we have a lot of glass on our elevated living quarters. Like we mentioned before, this helps out with identifying where raids are coming from. And instead of using the glass blocks, we like to use the glass panes because 6 blocks of glass will get you 16 glass panes. And this will cover about 2.6 times the distance that the 6 blocks normally would have covered. So it's kind of like building your floors and your ceilings with slabs, because if you can do this, it doubles the area that you can cover with the same amount of material. So this is a great thing that you can do with glass panes. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to hit the exact side of the glass panes when you're building the third row of panes. It's easier to put on that third top row if the slab ceiling is already on, because then you're just aiming at the bottom of the slab. I think we have said this before, but when you're putting in your work area on the first floor, having an ender chest here is great for being able to have building supplies that you collected earlier without having to go and collect them up in the middle of your build, which is something that often I end up doing. If you have shulker boxes, this just increases your storage capacity, and if you're able to just reach in and pull them out of the ender chest and then replace that later, it speeds things up a bit. I think we're going to end up moving the beds over to the other side of the building because we want to keep there from being any accidents, accidental falling out of the building. So back on the topic of city planning, one of the things that we usually try to do is to build a library, or if there already is one, then to expand it so that we can have multiple librarians in each town. You got to explain to them that mending and unbreaking books are important to their town's economy. Sometimes we'll build a restaurant or a cafeteria where the butchers will work, and we can get bricks from the masons to build brick oven looking areas for the armorer's blast furnace to go. You can hide a campfire above it and make it look like smoke is coming out the furnace. So what other kinds of ideas do you guys have on special buildings? Tell us down in the comments section, because we'd really love to hear from you on it. The roof is on, the beds are upstairs, and we have a quick access pool. And it looks like Holy Mist has finished the bunkhouse.
Now I need some beds for up here.
Yep. So that about does it for saving a town. Of course, there are lots of things that you can do in fixing up your village, but the last thing we want to recommend is to give your town a name. Something that kind of relates to that town specifically or tells you about that town. Like one of our towns is named Crossbow City because it's right next to a pillager tower and we have non-stop raids there. One town is called Boneville because we've got a bone factory there dealing with bone and skeleton related items from the skeleton spawner. So this town we named Southern Point because it's at the southern point of a savanna biome. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this short series, and we hope that something we've said helped you out. Before you go, make sure you hit that like button, and as you can probably tell, we're a little older than your normal Minecraft players. So for a look at how, we'll say more mature instead of older players approach Minecraft, subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you next time in the adventures on Married in Minecraft.